Hello everyone, it's Josh from EBC Brakes here, and today we are going to be talking about our automotive pad range and answering the question that we definitely get the most. It's what's the difference between all of the different colours. So starting off here with our Ultimax pads. These pads are our OE replacement pads. So they are designed to either meet or exceed the sort of braking requirements on any sort of stock pad that you get in your car. So these are designed by ourselves in our Bristol facility. They all come with our braking coating to make sure that the pad is almost pretty much ready to use from when you buy it. And they include no sort of metallic compounds either. So these are going to be nice on your alloys, and it's just a sort of good OE replacement pad. So if you're doing your day-to-day driving around the street, this should be the best option. So as I just said, so the Ultimax pad is the best pad for your day-to-day driving, standard OE replacement sort of pad. If you wanted to sort of step that up ever so slightly, that's when it would be best to start looking at our Greenstuff material. So Greenstuff is a slight upgrade on your OE pads, perfect for your day-to-day driving. So this also has the braking coating along the front to help with bedding in faster. There's no metallic compounds in these materials at all, no copper or lead or anything like that, so they're going to be nice on your alloys. These are designed with a slightly softer compound, so these will last you a little bit longer and give you that slight upgrade compared to your OE pads. So as I said, with these Greenstuff and the Ultimax pads, they have no sort of metallic compounds in them whatsoever, and the exact same applies here for our Redstuff pad. So these pads are a ceramic material. So what these are is they are a low dust option. So these pads give off low dust and low noise. There's absolutely no steel fibers in these pads at all. So as these are our low dust option and they have no steel fibers in them whatsoever, there'll also be minimal rotor wear as well. So that's the other positive for this brake pad. Obviously with all brake pads you will occasionally get some dust. It can happen, but the beauty of these is they won't eat into your alloys at all, and it'll be a much lower rate of dust compared to your standard OE pads. So yes, if you are going to be using your car on track, or you will be really pushing it on the road, then I definitely recommend looking at these options here. So starting off with Yellowstuff, got some little Yellowstuff brake pads here to show the huge range of vehicles that we make these pads for. Millions of sets sold worldwide. It's definitely our flagship pad, and these are now designed really just for the fast road use. If you have maybe a lighter vehicle or slightly less powerful, then you can use these on track if you bed them in correctly. So yes, Yellowstuff is our fast road material. It was the first sort of pad of its time in these hybrid materials that can go on track and also be legally used on the road. So yes, these are Yellowstuff pads. They are R90 approved for road use across Europe. They come with our braking coating as well for fast bedding. Just like the other materials we have, these are made with organic materials, so they will not be eating into your alloys. So yes, that is our Yellowstuff brake pad, and then from there we can go straight into our Bluestuff brake pad. So Bluestuff are the slight upgrade compared to Yellowstuff. If you are going to be using your car on track and you'll be driving it fast on the road, then it's definitely worth going for Blue. It's the proper sort of hybrid pad that we have now at EBC, designed for the heavier vehicles on the road, and like I said, it can handle the occasional track day as well. So our Bluestuff pad and our Yellowstuff pad will have a very similar sort of friction profile. So if you've used our Yellowstuff pads before, then it's not going to feel too different using our Bluestuff pads. They just have a slightly higher friction rating. I believe theirs is 0.52 for Blue and 0.48 for Yellow. So Blue just has that extra bit of bite and can handle the higher temperatures a little bit better. This doesn't have our braking coating, however it is still made from organic materials, so it will be very kind to your rotors. If you're going to be using these on track, they would be lasting a little bit longer than the Yellowstuff. Yellowstuff, if you're lasting on track, the life will probably be short to medium. These will be able to handle a little bit more miles when it comes to the track day races. If you have any of the bigger cars as well that you maybe tow vehicles with, Yellowstuff or Bluestuff could be great options there too. So one more important thing to note is all of our Bluestuff pads, our entire range, are now R90 approved. So these can be used on the road around the world completely legally. So yeah, that's what's great about them. You can use them on the road and they're also suitable for track use. However, if you are doing quite a lot of track days or your car is built specifically to be used for track days or racing, then the best option would be looking at our RP pads. So we have RP1 and RPX. They are very similar pads with a couple different sort of characteristics. Both pads are designed for entry-level racing and track days. It's important to note that these are not R90 approved, so they cannot be used on the road in the UK and in Europe. The RPX is a slightly more high friction variant and the RP1 slightly lower. I believe the RPX is 0.55 mu and the RP1s is 0.45 mu. So if we get into the different characteristics of the two pads, the RP1 pad has a very progressive pedal feel with unrivaled modulation, and it also is a very, very low disc wear rate. So they'll be very kind on your discs and it will have a very progressive pedal feel. That then compared to RPX, which is a much higher friction material. It has a very, very aggressive bite, even from cold. Just like to point out that, again, like RP1's not road legal in the UK or in Europe, it does not have the R90 approval to be used on the roads. However, in America, we have seen some people using them on the roads, and because of its great cold bite, it can work. So it doesn't need a lot of time to warm up before using it on the track. Because it is a track pad designed specifically for the track, you just have to note that there might be a little bit of extra noise and a little bit of extra dust, because these are things that we don't really take into consideration when we are designing these pads. So as I said with our road pads, they're all organic. It's the difference between the RPs. There are sort of a semi-metallic material in it just to help with the stopping power. So yes, as we said, these are designed to be used on the track. So yes, RPX is a slightly higher initial bite and RP1 slightly lower compared to this. So we say usually it's around a 25% difference between the two. So it's 25% more braking power with the RPX compared to the RP1s. So as I said, RP1s, RPX, perfect for your entry-level racing, your track day racing and everything like that. If you wanted something that could handle even higher heats, then it's best to look at our sintered range. So we have SR11s and SR21s, two different blends as well, similar to the RPs. We have SR11, which is a more medium friction material, and then SR21, which is ultra high friction material. So with the SR range, both the SR11s and the SR21s are sintered materials. These are made at our sintered friction factory in Ohio. So all the other pads that I've mentioned so far are all made in Bristol in the UK. These are made in the USA. So yes, similar to our RP pads, you have a slightly lower friction and a slightly higher friction. So our tip for anyone racing is usually SR11 in the rear and SR21 in the front to give that great balance between the two. So this boasts, we believe, the lowest cost per lap brake pad on the market. These are super fast when it comes to bedding in as well, so they should be ready to use very quickly. They are low noise and they will also be very kind on your rotors. So due to the materials that we use to make these pads, they are available for a limited range of vehicles, and also we make them for various different aftermarket racing calipers, obviously including our own and other manufacturers too. So if you are in need of some racing pads for sort of the higher level racing, then SRs would definitely be the best way to go. So that is sort of a brief overview of our entire brake pad range. We have brake pads to fit any sort of road vehicle, track vehicle, racing vehicles. We have it all. So yeah, if you have any other questions, then just drop it down in the comments below and we will have to do another Q&A soon to answer them. Thank you.